An important step in any design sprint is the validation or testing of your chosen idea on the last day of the sprint. So you've decided on the goal of the sprint, which challenge to tackle, you've created multiple ideas, decided which one to prototype, and you created a prototype in what, 3 days? You beast. Now get ready for day 4, on which we leave your prototype to the wrath and judgment of those who matter, 5 of your users. In this lesson, I'll teach you how to recruit and qualify your test users and how to easily schedule those sessions with the latest modern tools such as Typeform, Calendly, and even Video Ask. Figuring out who to recruit isn't an easy feat, depending on the goal of your design sprint, but also the solution you came up with. This can be quite a diverse group of people. It might be a specific type of customer, perhaps you're looking for an internal stakeholder, or maybe even people who never even heard of your product. Figuring out who to recruit is the first challenge, and there is no one-size-fits-all solution for this. You need to, together with your team, figure out who the right people are, and you want to do this as early as possible. Typical criteria could be anything from gender, age range, country of residence, are they active on social media, or are they tech savvy or not? Do they have a specific hobby or interest, and so on. But be sure to agree on 3 to 5 qualifying criteria and include them in your qualifying type form. Since some solutions might require a specific audience, you can't always determine ahead of time which the right people are to test with. Keep this in mind and communicate this with your client and stakeholders to manage expectations. If the goal of the design sprint is to attract a new market, it's quite clear you're looking for fresh blood. But depending on the solution, it might be a specific niche that requires distinct target users. You should always be able to determine which users you want to test with, at least at the end of day 2. So, where do you recruit these people? It might be existing customers. So, perhaps the people you need can be found in the CRM of the organization you're doing the design sprint for. This quite often is a pretty simple situation. You might ask if the company is willing to send out an email to a group of people with a link to that qualifying type form, or maybe even a Calendly link. You should be mindful that even though there might be a reasonable amount of emails, not everyone might want to participate. So make sure you have a backup method to get your 5 test users. And also keep in mind, every user, it might be a customer or an internal stakeholder, is unique. So make sure you're as specific as possible with recruiting to ensure you end up talking to the right people. Maybe you're testing with non-customers? Try an ad. You might feel the need to attract people your client hasn't spoken to before. Reaching out to new users through social ads is a great way to recruit users. You can create and promote a post on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and so much more. This will attract a lot of attention, and make sure to include in that post who you're looking for, age, country, language, and whatever else is relevant. Do they have a pet? Do they buy vitamins, sleeping problems? You name it. Also include the date of the testing session and roughly what the product is about. You could potentially offer an incentive like a voucher from your favorite store, or a gift bag, or credits. Just make sure it's something that your users will appreciate. And of course, a link to the form that people need to fill in. Another way to recruit participants is through paid services such as Dscout or Etnio or user testing. And these can run up quite a bill, but are solid solutions. Do keep in mind that if you only have 2 days to recruit users from these services, let's just say it's a bit optimistic. You might consider using your own network and the network of your team. As a last resort, you can always check for people on LinkedIn. If everyone in your team asks 2 or 3 people, you might already come a long way. This might be a more valuable solution if you're not specifically looking for a very specific type of user. But overall, feel free to use a combination of any of these methods we mentioned. You should always guide the potential participants to your typeform, which you can use for qualifying your users. So let's say you and your team agreed upon the qualification criteria of your testers. Awesome. And now it's time to automate such decision-making power in Typeform. There are also plenty of alternatives, such as Google Forms, SurveyMonkey, and I'm sure Microsoft Teams will also have an option like this. Pick whatever works best for you or your client's business. If you've recruited users through a Facebook ad, you won't need to ask their age in the qualification form, since the ad probably already took care of that. But feel free to make the qualification form a bit on the long side. Anywhere around 12 to 15 questions should do the trick. Why? Because a long survey form provides you with motivated people. Since they've already invested a decent bit of time, it's more likely to follow through. It's a great way to filter out unreliable testers, but also it gives you a bit more background information on the candidates, which can help you to decide who to pick. If you prefer a bit more control, manually pick who to invite for the session by sending them a Calendly link. If you're more concerned about filling the spot, you can show the Calendly link to the people who filled in the form who match your qualification criteria. Just make sure to remove or close the form when you filled up all your slots so people don't get disappointed when they see there's no spot available. So with these tips, I've hoped I've inspired you a little bit to easily find more people to test your ideas or product with. Of course, this is great for a design sprint, but if you're building a new feature or a new product maybe, I hope this helps you out as well. So if you like this video, feel free to comment or share, and I hope we can stay in touch. Take care.